Everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Might Delete Later podcast. And I've got D-Shean in the house.
Hello. Hello.
There he is. Shanna is out. As you know, I'm one of your hosts, Derrick. D-Shean's in the house. And we have a special guest. I just went over her last name because I didn't want to mess it up. Her name is Lori Weigant. And Lori Weigant is a realtor, a real estate agent in the Roseville, Sacramento area. And she is knows everything. So there's nothing that she doesn't know. And when we're done and then she gives you her social media, just bombard her with questions because she knows it all. She knows it all. So Lori, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. I know you were telling us just now that this is your first time sitting in. Yeah.
This is true. This is true.
So tell us how you got started in real estate. How did that happen?
It was actually purchasing my first house. I purchased my first house in 2011 in Lincoln, and it was actually a foreclosure. It was a bottom of the barrels, needed all the things done to it. It had renters in it that had stopped taking care of the house. So the house was completely destroyed inside. But when we were out looking at homes, the agent that we were working with was actually my ex's godfather. And so obviously we had a relationship. So, driving around and, talking, and I looked over to Gene and I was like, Gene, this is what you do for a living? Yeah. You're out with people. And he's like, yeah, this is what I do. And he looked at me and he's like, you have what it takes. He's like, you have
what it takes.
Wow. Yeah. And I was like, right away, huh? Really? Me? I was like, oh my gosh. He's like, yeah. He's like, because I was at 24-hour fitness at the time. So obviously in the industry,
you tell everybody 24-hour fitness they have
changing lives, and so he was like, yeah, I think that you could totally do this. So bought the house, went home, bought the stuff to become a real estate agent, but it took me several years because obviously I was a manager for 24-hour fitness, so studying
part-time. Yeah,
part-time on my spare time, along with managing life and everything else. But became fully licensed in January of 2014.
Oh, so it is your anniversary. Okay.
Yeah, so coming up, going to be 12 years here.
12 years.
Awesome.
12 very exciting, beautiful years. It's been quite the journey because obviously the market's transitioned a lot in that 12 years. We just went, during COVID, one of the craziest times that people ever experienced, in real estate. So, and then obviously me purchasing my first house and the lull of the real estate market, after the collapse of, the whole real estate market. So,
was it harder to sell?
No, it was, I don't know, because the industry changed by the time I had become an agent. So it was completely different. Before the collapse, there was a lot of fraudulent systems, and then after the collapse, everything became fully, everything's monitored, and you've got a proof of everything and proof of your income and proof of, all these things. And who you are. So when I was an agent, that was just how it was, so that was just how I didn't know any different than that. So, so I couldn't really determine if it is any hard, but I'm sure if you were a shady agent or a shady lender and you just, that was your thing, was just getting people in, you didn't care. And then all of a sudden now you need to care and you need to look at paperwork and you need to, I'm sure it is going to be hard for you.
Right.
Because you really don't even love this. You're not even in this for probably the right reasons. You're in it because you want to make quick money and this industry can make quick money for a lot of people.
So. Yeah.
So then why are you in it?
I'm in it because I love to change people's lives. It's and I love, being around people that I know and care about. And that's kind of, that was my thing, was that I wanted to work by referral. So that's why I worked so hard initially, is that so that every person that I worked with would just, talk about our experience to everybody. And then that just grew my own network just by that. So
Piggybacking off of what D-Shean just said, do you remember your first house that you sold?
the first buyer that I
The
had.
first buyer, yes.
Yes, it was my ex's best friend.
Okay, so that was okay. So you cheated. Then. You didn't have it. It wasn't
That's part of, like, obviously when you're
networking.
just getting
that-
started, when you're first getting started, it's like who you know, hopefully
Yeah.
they trust you.
Right.
How was that experience for you? That first buyer.
It was fine. He purchased a little condo, so it wasn't anything. It was a little condo in Antelope, so it wasn't anything, like too much, like over my head or anything.
Right.
Versus, had it been somebody that's like, help me with this $1 million transaction.
Yeah.
I think that's just different because the agents are different. There's a different demeanor. There's a different feel. Like once you're in luxury, once you're in the luxury, it's just different. And even veteran agents, agents that have been around a long time, they just can come across, very cold. To
And that's
a
the
new
seller's
agent.
agents, right?
No, can be any, a veteran agent can be any, but buyer, seller, doesn't
Okay.
matter. Yeah.
Okay. So and that goes from condo to
Yeah.
small
All
house to
anything.
whatever you
Anything.
want. Okay.
I help somebody buy and sell any type of property in
Trailers.
anything, all of it. Manufactured. Yeah, that was in my first year. I helped somebody buy a 55 and older manufactured home in Roseville.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Because I was whatever transaction I could to get paid.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Really early on in my career. So.
Because you work basically off a commission, like.
Oh,
right?
that's it. We do not get paid until that transaction is completely done. And we are the absolute last person to get paid.
Huh.
The
Okay.
absolute last person. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everyone gets
Everyone
their
gets
cut off.
paid.
Yeah.
Mortgage
that
has been
agent you
paid
got, okay,
off.
let's
Oh,
get-
yeah.
yeah.
Mortgage has been paid off because when the lender sends the wire to title the day of closing, the title is sending out payments to pay off all the
Everywhere.
debts.
Yeah.
So they pay off everything, and then the sale closes, and then they'll cut a check for proceeds. Then that check, a portion of that goes to my broker. My broker will then take his portion of that and then cut me a check.
Yeah. So it's a long process.
They do,
It's a long
they do you like
process.
the musical artists back in the day that didn't get their money. The Beatles still like, where we want to get all our money now.
From the last album.
Yep. So that's why early on I also incorporated myself. So instead of just being, because we are self-employed,
Right.
and we're paying, we've got to pay taxes and do all the things. So my tax guy encouraged me early on to set up a S corp.
Okay.
So your broker is just somebody that helps you.
I just hold my license through them. That's it.
Okay.
They do nothing for me whatsoever. So Realty One Group I just hold my license through them.
Okay.
That's it. I do everything. I do all my own marketing. I have my own transaction coordinator. I do everything.
See, because like I know with me, I thought that maybe that's like the office that you go to, and it's all the
Right.
people there that.
So
Realty One,
you
okay.
can't. I mean, you can go to the office. Like I just met a new client there on Halloween. So we met at my office, and because my office is nice, and we got snacks and drinks, and it's it's.
Speaking of snacks, she brought us snacks
Very lovely
before we
snacks.
started.
that warm bread is
warm bread, really soft. Okay, sorry, go on.
So you made me lose train of
I'm
thought.
sorry.
You think about the.
You met the person on
Yeah.
Halloween. And
Yeah.
and you
Oh
had
yeah, so
snacks
yeah,
there.
we had because I could meet if I knew who if I knew who the person was, like we've known each other for years, then I'd probably invite him over to my house or whatever. But It was this was a client. She was referred to me by a client that I closed on last year. So we haven't met, and so I just wanted it to be nice. And yeah, so I've got my office, and we've got all the things. So, so yeah, I met her there, and so yeah.
Now, I know your specialty is helping people increase their credit scores.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I definitely will offer to anybody because
Now,
I've got stellar credit.
I saw you
become
posted on
obsessed
social
with.
media, and I said, "What is she really doing this?" I'm like, "Why is she?"
Well,
posting
because
this?
I want to be able to show. Well, because it's credibility. I want to be able to show people like I don't just talk the talk. I walk.
Like, I look at my credit score.
I walk this. I own a house. I do these things.
Yeah.
Like I am this.
Wanna share that
I
number
can.
Well, no, that's what I wanted to get into because I know a lot of our
Oh, my
listeners
FICO score is almost perfect.
Yeah, when she posted it was like a perfect score.
Oh yeah.
What's perfect? 800.
It was
They're 850.
850?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
she
yeah.
had like a perfect
850.
score.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
so-
have
Okay.
I
Perfect
had
credit score.
perfect
Nice.
850 FICO score. So like I said, I had to learn the hard way early on in my 20s. Got into some debt. Oh, and
Which 20-year-olds usually do.
which we usually do. And then I was like, once I got into that, had to open up a line of credit and got into that, was like,
Revolving.
oh my God.
Yeah.
I saw it very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The game.
Literally cut up every credit card I had, paid off that personal loan because I went and got a personal loan to pay off everything so that I could just have one payment that I could focus on instead of having all of these different credit cards because I had like Express and Macy's as that early 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Then cut it all up, paid all that off, and then was like, never again. If I don't have the cash to pay for it, I'm not even going to do it. So,
So what do you suggest for people like that? So people that, because I know like I said, a lot of people.
You just have to be meticulous. Like I was just meticulous on what I was spending my money on. And also I cook at home. I love to cook. So that's the other thing. Is
You don't
a lot
eat
of
out,
a lot of people don't like to cook, and I get that. And it's what so we all have to pick our battles in life. You know, we got to pick our poison on what we want to spend our money on, and that's just not for me. I prefer to know what I'm eating anyway.
Right,
so
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I just save my money, and obviously it makes me feel better having savings. And
What if you had like a big purchase that you want to do, like maybe redoing your bathroom or putting in a pool or something? You would still.
Yeah, and also those upgrades. So some of it is going to be, how long do you want to live in the house? Because I'll always tell my client, because some of these is going to be priority upgrades. So kitchens, bathrooms, going to be a priority over a pool. But in California, it's like pools almost hold as much return as kitchens. People want them.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, because we have such hot summers and things, there's so many people that do look for pools, believe it or not. But if you're going to choose, like if the house needs a kitchen and or a master bathroom remodel,
You're doing the kitchen.
go with that.
Yeah.
Do not pick do
pool.
not pick a
Don't do
pool
the
and all
pool.
that before you go with one of those.
We don't need to eat. We need
That
to
is,
swim.
yeah, exactly. It's like
damn
you
it.
spend the
Gotta barbecue.
majority of your life inside, and that's
Yeah.
what that's where your money is going to be going. So.
Yeah.
So is that one of your first questions when you meet a client? Like, is this going to be your forever home, or are you looking for something to?
So sometimes I just know that immediately. I'll know what that immediately. Like I'll know it's not going to be their forever home because this is their very first home. It's a condo.
Okay.
They're in their early 20s. So there's
Yeah.
just kind of things that just make it very easy to know that it's not.
Just based on the demographic.
Yeah, just based on that. But then I've had clients that, like in the past couple of years, I've definitely I helped them buy their forever homes, acreage and Loomis,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
beautiful,
Yeah.
stunning properties
Yeah.
that, or maybe not. I mean, people's life happens all the time, you guys. Like things happen, and so I never say never with anybody. You can think somebody bought their forever home, but life happens, and all of a sudden they're like, we're leaving state, or
Right.
whatever family things happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's really where I see a lot of changes happen. Is like when family things happen, that can totally change how you feel. All of a sudden, people,
Yeah.
somebody gets sick, people lose a family member, and then all of a sudden, their whole what they thought was a priority is no
Right.
longer a priority anymore. So
Okay, so let me ask you this: if, like, say, they want to move out of state, like, what is your? Do you ever get like, okay, you could go there, or is it just based out of California?
I can't help them purchase in another state, but I can definitely help them find an agent in
Okay.
another state to help them.
So you're just in California.
I'm only licensed in California.
All right.
One thing that I asked you before we started that I wanted you to answer once we got going was companies that purchase homes.
Yes.
Like, again, like I told you before, I don't really have a opinion on it, yay or nay, but I have heard a lot of negative opinions on, companies. We don't want companies buying up all the homes and then turning around and fixing them up and selling them,
Right.
and this and that. And I know D-Shean had a question about the renters, the companies that buy the apartment buildings, and then they turn around and either jack up the rent or whatever. So what's your opinion on companies that buy up just a ton of homes and then they turn around and flip them?
I mean, in all honesty, if they're buying a ton, these are people, they're just in it for the return on their investment.
Yes.
So you've got to, this is where you really have to look out for your clients. If I have a client that like, this is all they can afford, this is this is it, then that's how we really have to be really meticulous in our inspections and things like that. Because those are the ones that are cutting corners and not doing.
They easily become slumlords.
Oh yeah, easily become slumlords. It's the same thing with the investors that pick up the apartment complexes and things like these gentlemen, these groups, these people. They're just in it for money. Like they're not in it because they have the love to want to change people's lives.
Right. Wow. Anybody else?
And it's funny you say that because me and my family purchased a house 2 years ago at this point. It was in a neighborhood that I don't know, a lot of you guys don't know the neighborhood, but these two do. It was in the Foothill Farms area. And it was a complete remodel. The house was built, I want to say 1960 something, and it was remodeled, completely remodeled. So now it's basically the house is almost priced out of the neighborhood at this point. So we purchased that house. And as we were there now, we start to see the corners that were cut. So in the hallway, we have the like the smoke detector right on the wall, and if you move it away, there's a hole there. Where the smoke detector. The phone lines were just taken out and moved to certain places, and it's like when AT&T came to do internet, they're like, well, wait a minute,
Where's it at?
Looks weird. It's just things like that. The backyard was just there's no drainage in the backyard. They did what they did was it was a swimming pool there. They covered it up, and then they just kind of adjusted stuff around it and made it look pretty.
That sounds about right.
It made it look pretty
Aesthetically.
Yeah, and so when we got there, we were like, oh, the backyard, there's nothing there. We can do what we want.
Right.
And then we got there and we're like, we don't know how to do what we want.
It's concrete over here. Rocks
we
over
don't
here.
know what to do.
And it's like a landmine.
Yeah.
Yes. And so when you're saying the cutting corners, that hits home.
No, trust me, because in my almost 12 years, I've said it multiple times that it's like, I feel like it's a crime against humanity. Seeing some of these homes that I've walked into and seen the corners that have been cut, and to think of how hard these individuals are working to get these homes.
Yeah.
And these guys come in there and just.
See, my take on it is that in the same neighborhood, had a house up the street. House was immaculate. Loved the house. The house was just great. They always had people that come out, It only took one phone call. You didn't keep calling. But now that I live in the Arden area, the apartment is like, they cut a lot of corners. Handles start coming off immediately. Like, what in the world?
And your apartment was bought by a company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the same thing, but the house was great. The apartment, ugh.
See, my house we bought it from a company. Mm-hmm. The company purchased that house, and they had people, like I said, had people come in and just remodeled the house, move things wherever they needed to move them to make it look pretty. And they said, "Hey, here you guys go." Yeah. And we saw it, and we're like, "Oh wow, this is amazing." And now, not so much. Not so much.
Past the honeymoon stage.
Yeah, it's you see these things, and you're like, "Okay."
Was it worth it? Really?
Like, that there's a hole there, and they put something to cover it up. So
during your inspections, how were your inspection reports? I mean, did they feel like there was a lot of red flags in your inspection?
Well, the inspection report came back good, but when the house was originally looked at, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Somebody else saw it.
Okay.
And but I didn't originally see the house. I'm pointing on camera. I was on FaceTime.
Okay.
I was like, "Oh yeah, it looks nice." I'm like, "Wow, that backyard is nothing there. It's just, we can do whatever." Man, this is awesome. This is gonna be so awesome. And I didn't know we had bad neighbors either. Oh. We have terrible neighbors on one side. I didn't know that. Oof. Like it's the neighbors we have. It's like
pretty bad.
That's one of the.
It's
that is like
really
one
bad.
of my things that I try to do is when I'm viewing homes. If it's a house that my client is interested in, I'm going to talk to a neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do. I try to talk to a neighbor.
Because that brings down the property value, right?
Yeah. Well, I just try to make
you want to give as much information to your client as possible.
I just try to make small talk with the neighbor. Just say, hey, how's your neighbor?
Because this neighbor can be okay.
Well, because unfortunately, there's sometimes they will withhold information.
Right.
From the seller withholds information to the listing agent. So if I was to call the listing agent and say, hey, how's this neighborhood? How's this whatever? The listing agents could be like, oh, yeah, that's great because that's what the seller has told them.
Yeah.
But then, but obviously I'm like, oh, that's interesting because I know, obviously if we know a neighborhood well, we're like, I don't know about great, but it's probably, a decent neighborhood. Yeah. But then you go talk to the neighbor and the neighbor's like, oh, yeah, they're the next door neighbor. There's a lot of, stuff going on there. There's a lot of activity. And you're like, okay, thank you.
Yes, and that's exactly what happened to us. That's exactly what happened. The neighbor across the street, and we've already moved in and bought it. And it's we're living there. And I spoke to the neighbor across the street. I don't know what happened. We were saying, hi, hey. So you bought that house. That's too bad what happened to that woman over there. What?
What? Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
No. He was like, oh, yeah. He's like, she may have died there. That's what he said. He said she might have died there.
It's haunted.
There was an old woman.
That would have to be disclosed.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Oh, if she died
there, he wasn't
home,
sure.
Yeah. If she left and went to the hospital and died, then no,
yeah, he wasn't
don't
sure.
have to. Yeah.
He said one time we came out and she was just laid out in the front door and we had to go over there and help her. And he's like, I think she died there. I'm like,
you can't really talk to yourself past that. Like
what? And then he said, yeah, the neighbors over to your right or to your left over here. Yeah, they've got a daughter over there that she's schizophrenic and she walks up and down the street all times of night.
Yelling.
And I was like, what? He said, oh, yeah. There. He said, there.
Well, this is weeks after it moved in.
Yeah,
it's after we moved in, yeah.
Pictures on the wall.
After we moved in.
So that's part of what makes like your particular scenario would be open for a possible lawsuit. Because if information is withheld that would prevent a buyer from purchasing the house, like if they knew this information,
right,
and didn't disclose it,
it wasn't disclosed.
Yeah,
that's the grounds for a lawsuit.
Definitely.
It's information that would change your mind.
Yeah.
Like it would change. You're like, this information makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't want to purchase this house.
Yeah.
Like that's a very.
Because we absolutely think we have a ghost there.
We
absolutely.
feel like it's haunted.
I remember one time I'm sitting. I have a little game room there. I was like, okay, I'm gonna turn this into a game room. I'm sitting in the game room watching TV, and the sliding door unlocks. I said, wait, what now? Sliding door just unlocks. I assume that maybe I don't know how that happens.
Really?
But it happened multiple times where the sliding door just unlocks. Sometimes I'll get up in the morning and the sliding door is unlocked. So, yeah, but when we looked at the house, they have like a little board there to put there so it can't open. So they knew that it unlocks, I guess. I don't know.
You're on the right track, but not necessarily because we kept fixing our windows. Like,
okay.
From moving open.
I'd want to put a camera up just to be able to
see what's happening.
To be able to see with my own two eyes. Because I guess it could be possible that somehow there's some vibration that the lock mechanism is like.
Well, it is. I mean, it's still
jiggling open. Yeah,
it is.
It's an older home, so there's a lot of things that can, that I've seen.
Yeah, and that's what I'm chalking it up to.
Everything was fixed. So everything was fixed. Everything was put in brand new. Right?
Things were placed in weird
except
spots.
For some major things like sliding glass doors and things like that. Yeah, that they don't because big ticket items. Yeah, they'll leave a lot of big ticket items.
Yes. Yes. So. But I'm like, okay.
Electrical systems, plumbing. Oh yeah, all that's for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And then the neighbors. It's as bad as it could possibly be. The neighbors that are really bad. I think 2 weeks in of us living there, I don't know. One of my daughters said she heard a loud boom. I didn't hear anything, but we're in our game room and we see all of these flashing lights outside.
Oh, so you think it was a gun?
Well, we went outside.
Okay.
And the police were there. The fire department was there. And the neighbor, the guy that lives next door, he's just screaming and cussing at the police. And I thought maybe they shot the daughter that had schizophrenia. But apparently they shot his dog.
Stop.
It was on the news too. We were on the news. They shot his dog because the dogs went out. They went out as soon as the police got there to help them with the woman that was schizophrenic.
That's amazing.
And what I was saying was those police had to have known because that's very quick. The dogs darted out. Boom, they put him down right away.
Yeah.
So, and they go to that house often. So they know what's going on at that house. They put the dog down. It was all over the news. And they had to put tape on our car. They put the caution tape, yes, because it was a crime scene. It was now a crime scene because they killed the dog.
Now, does that happen as well? Like, can you ask how many times a cop has been called out to this residence and is that affected?
Well, I think that might be public.
It's public.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
public information. But yeah, you definitely want to be looking at, and I also try to encourage my clients to look at different webs, and also that's the other thing in this industry is we are not supposed to tell you certain, they don't, because they feel like we could be redlining you out of neighborhoods by telling you certain information, or saying this is a bad neighborhood.
Oh.
Or deeming it, certain things. It's because we've all come from different walks of life. So what's one person finds as a bad, we're like, this isn't bad. We grew we grew up here. This isn't bad. But versus, somebody that grew up in a gated neighborhood in Roseville their whole life, and if I brought them to, they probably wouldn't even want to look at a house in Oak Park. They would,
of course
absolutely not.
They wouldn't even go with me out there.
I wouldn't look at it.
But I have my CCW, so I come.
She said, "I'm good." She said, "I'm good."
Knocking on the door with a gun, hey, okay.
No, I'm good. Yeah. Oak Park.
I'm street smart. Okay, that is one thing.
Growing up where we grew up, you're gonna have to be.
You gotta be.
You have to be
A little bit.
Yeah. The other question I had was property taxes, because The house we bought 2 years ago was the first time I was buying a house. So it's a lot of expenses that I didn't expect. So of course you hear property taxes. Okay, yeah, property taxes. But then you get the bill for the property taxes. So my question is, what determines your property taxes? Is it the area? Is it the square footage of the house?
And is it every year or every other year?
It's every year.
It's every year.
Every year.
So originally, 1% of the purchase price.
Okay. Okay, so it's the purchase price that
Yes.
determines. Okay.
1%. That was the old school, but now it's more than 1%. Now these new neighborhoods have 1 point something percent. Plus, you also have Melrose, which are taxes
Yeah, I heard
to
about
build
the Melrose.
infrastructures within brand new communities. So, and these are bonds that are placed, within these
For future.
communities for 20 to 30, 40, 50 years that you're paying into, that are building police stations, gas,
Yeah.
schools,
Yeah.
hospital, all the
okay.
infrastructures for
Yeah.
your brand new community.
Right.
Because obviously, I think,
Because you want to beautify
originally,
it.
yeah. So I don't know how, 100 years ago when they were putting communities together, who was paying for hospitals, who was paying for police stations. I don't know how that.
The mob.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. No, none of us
mob
really know how that, who was paying for what.
It'd be a
but-
shame if something happened to that
Yeah.
house you have there.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
You need protection.
so now when builders are building these communities, they create these Melrose bonds
Yeah.
that they place on the homeowners.
Yes.
But back in the day, the builders would pick up these bonds and pay, that would all be part of their, probably what was included in their, what their asking price for the house.
Right.
Because they needed so much to pay for the land and all these infrastructures that were going to be future, built.
Future
And,
TGIF.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Melrose. I heard that term in our home search a lot with our agent. Yeah. He's like, yeah, they got the Melrose.
Yeah, so if you want to get away from Melrose, older neighborhoods. That's the only, but if you're looking at anything, even built in the 90s, even the 90s and newer, 100% is probably going to have some type of additional tax or Melrose, which all of
And that just depends on the area, though. The actual.
Yeah, exactly. So different areas vote for different taxes. Like, Bay Area, like really posh areas, they will vote, these people in these areas vote for these additional taxes
Yeah.
that are special just for their areas,
Yeah.
And it's not just
It's
specific to HOAs
No, it's specific to their
Yeah.
neighborhood.
neighborhood and
That's
their
why if
school
you're out there, they be like, hey, what are you
district
doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing out here?
Yeah, like
you're not supposed to be on this
like
spot.
Marin,
Right.
Yeah, like in Marin and different
yeah.
posh areas like that, these people vote. Well, they even have special trust accounts. I found out that these really rich people have set up their own trust accounts for public schools. They'll even give to put into
Really vested,
teachers
yeah.
and really give back and try to do whatever they can. So
That's something else. But then they're trying to.
they're really trying to make help
Yeah.
make a difference, and because the public school system
Right.
obviously suffers tremendously
Yes.
in every aspect. So at
Yeah.
least
Because then you got to show
some
kids all
people
over
with
across
money want to
town.
make a difference. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
Because the backside of Arden, which is part of Del Paso Heights, they have a new section over there, which is similar to the one like by Sac City. It's a bunch of new houses, but it's a new development, and they're like, okay, well, I see them, and you see a little poster board, and like, okay, there's going to be a park here 3-4 years. They're like, it doesn't really need it, but okay,
Right.
you know where you're at still, right?
Yeah.
So I want to end with this because we're at the stretch in here. I wanted to end with these polls that I found.
No.
I wanted to end with these polls. So I'm going to start off with the polls, letting you guys know where we're at. So baby boomers were born in 1946 to 1964. Everybody keep that stuff in mind. Generation X which I would assume might be us. Maybe you're probably just out of generation.
I'm born 82.
Okay,
So
so
I
you
think I'm
just missed Generation X. So Generation X is 1965 to 1980.
Okay.
Millennials are 1981 to 1996. And Gen Xers, who cares?
Right.
So
They're not purchasing homes.
they're not purchasing homes. They're not purchasing homes. So the gist of this is Americans of all ages think that home prices are all too expensive.
It's the truth.
So 93% of boomers say that, 92% of Gen Xers say that, and 92% of millennials say that. So that's something red, blue, they all can agree on that homes are too much. Another thing here, and it's just really interesting to get what the boomers think, what the Gen Xers think, and what the millennials think as far as some of the issues with home buying. So one of the things here, this one was interesting. Who's responsible for the lack of affordable housing in the U.S.? 93% of boomers say inflation. 93% of Gen Xers think it's inflation. And 91% of millennials think it's inflation is the issue for the lack of affordable housing. So the actual three things are inflation, high interest rates, and high property taxes. Inflation leads the pack. Inflation leads the
100%.
pack. You would
And then
agree
back
with
it
that?
up, with the high interest rate. That is killing people's affordability right now. I mean, trust me, I have so many people that are just like, gosh, if it can only be like 4%, and that makes a significant difference in the payment. If you're, from a 6 point whatever right now, back down to 4, that absolutely makes a difference. And life, you guys, we all know life is so expensive right now. So
very.
you got to think we're still paying $5 a gallon for gas. I was just like staring at that the other day. I'm like, my mother's turning in her grave right now, watching me pay $5 a gallon of gas.
I remember paying it.
Yeah, I remember when it was, I remember when it was 98 cents.
That was
happening right
man.
now. So
we were going everywhere then.
No, trust me, and as somebody that's born and raised here in California, and I have a soft spot for people, and that just for that reason, because I have seen so many people that I've grown up with completely priced out of the ability to buy a house here.
Yeah.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
That if they want to buy a house, they either would have to pick up another job and make it significant more money to buy the house that they're wanting, or they're going to need to leave state.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Because that was my point of selling my grandfather's house. Didn't want to do it. I felt like I could have taken it over, but there was
family and
exactly. Yeah. Everybody else, I got a lot more older.
I've been a part of several of those transactions where I've had to sell the family. It was a family property and same thing. And two people want to keep it, but then there's several family members that don't, and that's hard. It's
nobody's gonna keep up with it, but me. So.
Along with those polls, as you were saying, a lot of Gen Xers and millennials feel that owning a home in America is just unattainable now at this point. That's what they feel. And what you're also seeing in the polls is people are purchasing houses at a later age now. They're just like...
It's taking folks longer to become more financially savvy.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. There's one thing I know is that who people that are determined to have a certain life, they will achieve that. They will go after that at whatever age. And that's just the thing I've learned in my 12 years. I've had every type of client from every walk of life. But the thing is that it was so important to them to own something, to have something that was of their, So, I mean, and not, so everybody comes in with a different mindset. Like they didn't want it to be all pretty and all the things. They just wanted a house that they could have, that they could fix up themselves.
Yeah.
But then I have got some clients, like one that I met with on Halloween. She was like, I absolutely do not want to fix up anything in that, you know.
I want it
don't
ready
wanna
to go.
paint, I want it
Yeah.
ready to go.
I want it
So,
ready to go.
you know, everybody's kind of going in, but she also has been saving for a very long time. So she's been living with her family, she's been saving, she's been being very smart. So she's got money to be able to do that, you know, versus some people don't. You know, they're like, I saved a little bit, but I'm determined to buy, so I'll take it with the crappy carpet and the crappy paint. I'll get in it and just do it over time.
Yeah.
And, you know, to me, I think that's really is like, that's important. That's what I did. I bought a foreclosure.
Yeah.
It had renters in it, you guys. It was a dump, an absolute dump. But when my ex and I split and sold, $167,000 profit on that very first
Really?
house, you guys.
Wow. Nice.
$167,000.
Wow.
This is pre-COVID.
And this is you guys
That was
fixed
sold in 2015.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Wow. Pre-COVID.
Well,
And we
you-
split that
When did
because
you buy
obviously
it?
that was a divorce. That was a divorce sale.
Yeah.
2011.
From a 2011 to 20.
That was a 4-year investment.
Wow.
So you sold and bought your first house in the first year you were in real estate.
No, I wasn't even in real estate then.
Oh.
2011. I wasn't. I was still working for 24 Hour Fitness.
Okay.
I didn't get my real estate
2013.
license till 2015. Or no, 2014. And then after I got my license, we split up, we split up and all that stuff happened. So
How much was that house? That first house? Do you remember?
oh, it was dirt cheap, you guys. It was
Yeah.
$168,000.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
you doubled your money. Awesome.
Yeah, but we did all the things, you guys. We did a lot of work.
Yeah.
We put in hardwood floors, painted, totally redid all the landscaping, new appliances, tore down. There was a partial wall that was in there that we tore down before we put in the hardwood floors to open up the space, because it was a smaller home. It was right under 1,500 square feet. When you first walked in, it had a little a portion room that had a portion wall. It had an opening, so it was had an opening with a cabinet. So it was it should have just been one giant open room. But they were trying to create two spaces in a small home. So, but it didn't work for me.
We'll end with these last two questions. Again, your specialty is helping people with their credit, and as the polls are showing, people think it's unattainable, to get a home. So, what would you suggest for people to start getting prepared at what age? I'm say 18. What would you suggest for people to start getting prepared to attack that and be able to buy a home?
I mean, really, you want to eliminate all of, just get really financially savvy. Go through your, just stop spending your money on little things like
Fast food,
apps and, little things that you're just bleeding in your account. Just be particular about your apps. What does the app do? Is the app really doing something for you? Exactly. Don't, get rid of your credit cards. Maybe have, one for, emergencies. Don't have, if you got student loans, then you really shouldn't have credit cards. You need to have priorities.
But you have to have that revolving credit though.
You do. But and that's the other thing is you also need revolving credit. So that's why you want to, obviously have, open up a credit card and, have it and use it, but don't overload it. And, and all of a sudden you're, like I was in my early 20s going out and spending all this money. And then you couldn't keep up with, the payments and what have not. So and then save your money. Because obviously you're going to need at least 3.5%. I mean, unless you're a veteran and you're getting a VA loan, and you could do 0% down, or you can do a USDA loan, but that's for rural areas, you guys.
Yeah.
Rural. So out in the boondocks, like Yuba City, like out there.
Oh, okay.
USDA loans are 0% down.
That's
But
what-
you
they
have
to-
closing costs, you guys.
you have
Your
land,
down
though.
payment, no. It could be a house in a neighborhood.
Just really.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, you guys. Just has to be the area. It's the areas that are considered rural.
okay.
So if that area is considered rural, then it will, then that USDA will be something that's eligible in that area. So
Got it.
So yeah. So, but 3.5% for FHA is you're going to need your minimum and then your closing costs. But if the house is sitting, you guys, the sellers are giving credits towards your closing costs. So that credit comes from their proceeds. So it's just an addendum that's written up. Seller agrees that they're going to give you X amount of dollars out of their proceeds, and that's just X amount of dollars that you don't have to bring to the closing table. And I've done that many of times for my clients over the years. So
Okay.
So in other words, people stop paying for PlayStation games. Stop
well, I mean, if
getting
you wanna
streaming
own a
services.
home,
Stop with the streaming services. You don't need all of them.
$9.99.
but here's
Even
the
though
thing,
I
Derek.
have all of them. But you don't need all of them. Stop doing that.
Stars and HBO.
Stop doing that.
One.
But if owning a home
Peanut butter and
is
jelly
not
sandwiches.
your priority, but here's the thing: it's not. But that's not.
That's not everyone's priority,
It's not
yes.
everybody's priority. I honestly do what makes you happy, you guys. Like if you want to play PlayStation and rent for the
Yeah,
rest
fine.
of
Play
your life,
PlayStation.
and
Just
that
sit
is
there in
gonna
your mom's
make you
basement.
happy, do that. Honestly, do that.
Yeah.
Because if you think, oh, I'm gonna go buy a home because that's what everybody is telling me.
Yeah.
Like, no. Then you may not be happy in this process, and then you may regret
Tell me
it
about
because, like, you.
Tell me about it.
So, like, you want to do this because you want this for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that was the thing. It's like most of us, we just want this for ourselves.
Right.
Like, I want to come home to my own place. I don't want to come home to a 30-day notice on my door that
boy.
you need to be out in 30 days. I've got PTSD from that as a child.
Oh,
Like,
boy.
I experienced that. Like, I had no desire to ever come
again?
home to
Oh, boy.
another
Yes.
notice or anything on my door.
Yeah.
Ever. I mean, and even when my ex and I were together and we were living together, he had stopped paying his mortgage that he didn't tell me about. And when I was home, and I was at the house and somebody showed up and they're handing me a FedEx envelope.
Oh, boy.
And I
Oh,
could see
boy.
it's from the mortgage provider.
Oh, man.
Hell no.
And I'm like, no, my stomach
Right.
turned.
She said,
And
not
I'm
again.
like,
Yeah.
No.
no.
Flashbacks.
Oh my God. No, exactly. And I opened it and it was just that. He had not, and this is the ex that we were flipping
Right.
homes together.
So
And
obviously
so he
working.
was, robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And he was already, over 10,000. He owed me $10,000 on a flip.
Whoa. Oh, boy.
So at this time, gentlemen, I'm
Yeah.
like packing my bags.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to pay this mortgage so that I don't have to worry about. And then I immediately started looking for a rental. And that was it.
Yeah.
As soon as I was like, I'm like, you are a fraud.
Right.
You are not who you say you are.
Yeah.
And then, but the good news is that he did pay. It took him almost 2 years, but I did get paid back.
You got paid back.
He paid me like $500 a month payments
Hey,
over,
that's very-
over like a 2-year period.
Wow.
Good, though.
Oh yeah, no,
Wow.
I even have the apology card and everything, the letter and everything that came
Yeah.
with the final last payment. Oh, yeah,
Good man.
Hey, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, paying is.
Oh,
I'm not talking about it.
Yeah,
I ain't talking about the other stuff. I'm
hold
talking
on
about
a minute. That is
the
not.
fact that he still
No.
paid.
Yeah.
Because some people like that,
No,
they
he
do that,
paid
you won't never hear
because
from
he
them
had
again.
an
Right.
ego. He had an ego because
Uh-huh.
I told him I didn't want a penny back.
Uh,
When
okay.
I was like, you could keep it.
Yeah.
Don't ever bother me again.
Uh-huh.
Leave
No.
me
I'm going to try
alone.
that.
Leave me alone for the rest of my life. Well, when you've been
Leave me
through so
alone.
much,
Don't you ever pay me.
when you've been through
back.
so much with somebody, it's like I can make more money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
dealing with
I just want to
this
get away from
person
you.
is
Yeah, I
like
just want to get away
the
from you.
devil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like my life would be worse just keeping him. around.
Yeah, definitely.
So no, God will give me more money, gentlemen.
Yes.
God will give me more money.
There's always plenty of fish in the sea. You know?
Yeah. So last question: what makes a good agent?
Integrity and a problem solver. It's the two of those. Because you can, integrity is, but obviously integrity doesn't help you in the middle of a really shitty situation. You've got to be a problem solver, and I've been through a lot. And also, you've got to be a savage. Like, I had a cancellation last year on a 1.5. It was my listing, 1.5, and it was a cash buyer. And just a couple days before closing, they canceled after they had released all their contingencies. We were getting ready to close, and they just tried to walk away. And we were like, you could walk, but they had a $75,000 deposit down.
Ooh, boy.
Wow.
And I was like, you guys can walk, but we're keeping your $75,000 deposit. And they were like, no, you're not. And I was like,
Wow.
Because that's the work you put in. Yeah.
watch me. No, I don't get any of it. This is just for my client.
No, okay.
For my client.
Okay.
So, and the agent has literally been an agent as long as I've been alive, you guys. So this is the part about some, why
Veteran
you
agents,
need
yeah.
veteran, and how it could be intimidating if you're a newer agent that doesn't have, balls, or you don't have, proper, people skills to be able to, go head to head with this person and say, oh, you're going to pay me, or we're suing, we're going to sue you. And that's exactly what I had to do. I had to get aggressive.
Yeah.
These individuals put together all the paperwork that I had on them, along with this additional addendum that I had them sign that stated that their deposit was non-refundable.
Oh, okay, good.
Plus called our real estate, the California real estate attorney, and opened up the case and got that going. Sent a formal email to them with all of that. Heard nothing, but then it was like a 48, 72-hour period, we got the signed cancellation.
Okay, good.
And they had released their deposit to my client.
Wow.
Boy.
What trouble.
Boy.
That's a lot of trouble.
Oh, but my client, let me tell you what, very impressed my client was.
Yeah.
So, because he just got $75,000 for nothing. We went back on the market, and I got him a new buyer within the week.
Uh-huh.
So-
New buyer within the week.
Yeah, and I got to double in that.
Oh,
Nice.
boy. You know,
Worked out very well for me.
we're going to end that there. We're going to end that there. Lori, where can everybody find you? Because I'm sure these people they have more questions.
More questions.
They
I know
want
I
to
do.
buy some homes.
I do.
So where can everyone find you?
It is Lori.Michelle Realtor. That's my Instagram.
That's your Instagram. Okay.
And then just on Facebook, Lori Weigant. I'm just on there. I do have a business page. and
How is
stuff
that
like
spelled? Because, I struggled with it.
Weigant. It's German, so the I is silent.
I is silent, people.
The I is silent.
I is silent.
Just for looks.
All right. Well, that's it, you guys. We're going to end that there. Thanks to Lori for being here, giving all that information. Thanks to D-Shean for being here, sitting in for Shanna at the last second. You guys email Shanna, write her on Instagram, tell her.
Make sure she's okay.
Yeah, make sure everything's good. And make sure to follow us on social media, the Might Delete Later podcast, because again, we don't have enough followers. So we look silly out there doing these shows and putting up pictures and stuff, and you guys aren't following us. You guys are liking it. You guys are watching videos, but you're not following. Please follow.
Follow.
All right?
Follow and like.
All right, cool. So we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
All right? Peace.